I think this is what the kids would call a glow up. Welcome to the King of Fighters 98 Ultimate Match, released on the 10th anniversary of the King of Fighters 98. This is much more of an expanded version of it, and it's made no more apparent than Ultimate Mode. All those nice little things about advanced and extra and all that, you can now choose between them. While this is a nice feature, admittedly, every single system element of advanced is what I prefer. So it is a nice idea. There is a lot more to this cast. Slightly more characters than 98, but it isn't the ballooning of a future game. That being said, I'm trying not to pick characters I picked in the original 98, and the best place to start is the 96 boss team. We'll be using Wolfgang Krauser, because of course we will. And we'll be using Heidern, because I've already used Saishu before, but it's a matter of number 3. I've thought about this. O.Leona made her playable debut. I mean, she was a secret character before, but there she is. It is nice that special characters are denoted by the red text next to their name, but O.Leona, we missed out on her in 97. We ran into her in the 96 Game Boy. There is not much to say about O.Leona herself. It's not like she has any new spectacular moves. She's a faster version of the Leona you know. She hits slightly harder, but she doesn't delete the original Leona. Like, if you still got a preference, she's there. Also, it is worth noting, since this is 98 we're talking about, the AI is much more defensive and counterpunch heavy. Add that on top of all the little perks that Ultimate Match brings. For example, the opponents I'm fighting are using the Ultimate gauge. The Ultimate system, if you will. Thank you, invincibility on startup. That means they're using a combination of perks from Advanced and Extra. You won't be able to tell right away. It took a while for me to decide on what characters we were bringing to this one. I wanted something new, something old, and, well, something bold. Tried to find a way to rhyme it, but failed miserably. Heidern is back to his charge motion ways. He did not have this in 2001. Really, I think it fits his character better. And there we go. Despite having the advanced meter, he has extras evasion. Which means you don't roll forward, but you stand in place. Yeah, this just... Get used to that! Get used to your moves getting stuffed before they're even active. It is the 98 way. in any case. That brings us to Wolfgang Krauser.
Let's burn it up.
Lady, go!
Did you ever want Sagat in KOF? Well, you've got him. The idea of Krauser is that he is a zoner through and through. He has plenty of kicking moves like Tomahawk, drop kicks. He has this little two-kick combo. But yeah, you want to throw fireballs out as frequently as humanly possible.
Good time.
Lady, go!
Alright. Trying to move about, but there we go. So that move is Gigantic Cyclone. You have to do not one, not two, but 3 half circle back motions to get that move to work. Krauser gets a new Ranbu type super. Very nice. For the longest time of Ultimate matches, quote-unquote tournament life, Krauser was considered the best of the best. We are playing the final edition version on Steam, which balanced things out and made Krauser normal. And of course we're fighting Daimon. I admit I'm not the best with O.Leona, but it beats using Iori for what feels like the umpteenth time. And O.Leona is a more interesting subject, considering it's something that the non-Iori players would never see. Too far. The little detail of even the teammates off-screen bounce when Daimon uses his ground pound move. Neat little details like that. Not the first time that's happened, mind you. Alright, of course we're gonna use the evil person against Kim. Of course we are. So, weirdly enough, Leona throws out this little moon flasher thing. She could still move afterwards. So, hello, mix-up opportunities. We're learning. We're learning the ins and outs of, honestly, a mid-boss. I mean, I could do worse as far as picking boss characters and pick actual boss characters. But yeah, Leona that hits harder but is more controlled by gravity. Orochi Iori is much more literally grounded in that way. He barely gets off the ground, so if you're not used to Iori not having a hyper jump of any kind, Orochi Iori's going to throw you off, but Orochi Leona has most of Leona's perks. Has most of every character's perks, except for the increased speed and hitting harder. So let's get to stage number 4. We're this close to the finals. And... oh, hey, Shingo. So depending on how well you've been playing, the 4th stage fight is a match against a solo opponent. It can either be Shingo, or it can be Eiji Kisaragi, or it can be, of all people, Kasumi Todo. Characters... at least 2 of those 3 characters were left out of the original 98. So it's good to see Shingo get a, quote, full team? Don't take notes around me, buddy. There we go. Alright. Yes. If we're fighting a team of Fatal Fury characters, of course we're starting with another Fatal Fury character.
Let's burn it up!
Lady, go!
Like Tomahawk! Blitzball! 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 Krauser! Hey! Blitzball!
There we are.
KO! Winner!
You can get up by yourself.
Round 2!
So Krauser is mostly retained
ready?
from his original 96 iteration.
Go!
Like I say, you get a few new moves into the mix, but if you played him in 96, you'll feel right at home here. Thank you, startup invincibility.
Blitzball! Blitzball! Like Tomahawk! Blitzball!
Oh.
Blitzball!
Krauser has a few moves that I don't really use that often. He has grapple moves. He has a counter move that might as well not exist.
You can get up by yourself.
Round 3!
Here we are.
I'll chisel your gravestone. Sleep well.
Lady,
If you fight against a character that existed in, say, the Fatal Fury 2 era, you get that special intro. It's a nice little touch. Part of why it's like so part of why I enjoy using Krauser in this game, because he's just a giant good time of a character. And it benefits him having certain matchups. Thank you, startup invincibility. Not gonna say it enough. And yes, Kaiser Wave still costs meter to use. Unlike its imitator. Ah. So here we get the 96 boss team, right before the main event. We shall have a duel of the Earls of Stroheim.
Start it up.
in stereo.
Go!
So, yeah, his original 96 stage is even present for the fight.
Blitzball.
Okay.
Blitzball. 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 Blitzball.
Yep,
Blitzball.
it's definitely a game of who flinches first. The Krauser mirror can be fought from either range.
Blitzball. Blitzball.
Well, you are the superior Krauser, I will give you that. Okay. So glad he has that move, so that anyone who dare risks the idea of jumping at me pays the ultimate price. I mean, it has recovery for days, but if you can read the jump in, it's yours. Right. And theme change. Geese Howard actually has an EX version in this game, where he has his move list from Real Bout Fatal Fury 2. It is nice that such a thing exists. Like I said, punishment for days. Alright. Girl, you're gonna have to carry this. And theme change again. I actually really like Mr. Big's theme. We didn't get to hear too much of it in 96. Like, Leona has such movement option. Alright, gotta watch that. How did that not hit? Oh, God. This is just awful. This is just awful play. But yeah, each of them have, like, unique winner artwork that they had to make for this game. Alright. First of many continues, I'm sure I'll be using. Since from here on out, it's going to be Killer's Row. We'll just stick with Advanced. Yep, Geese is still Geese. He still has counters. Granted, he's a much more versatile Geese than you're used to. That being said, not only does he have his low counter, but he also has an OGG throw. So have fun with that. Oh my god, that did like no damage. There we go.
Let's burn it up.
Lady, go!
It's super neat how Krauser is voiced by a genuine American. Really adds a lot. Really adds a lot to that. Give me that. No, I'm the only one who can hit with that. Alright, gotta watch that range. Got it. See, we even caught the drop kick before it even started.
Round 3.
That is the power of that grab.
Happy guy.
Lady, go!
Hoping to use that super as much as possible because sustaining your health, good for any portion of your team. Whether he be the anchor, whether he be the secondary, it's just good to have someone on your team that can self-sustain. Oh. Learn something new every day. I've never had that reflect projectiles before. Alright. Got him. Yeah, using that at the end of the fight encouraged, because not only do you get the initial health up, but you get whatever health up you get from the end of the round on top of that. Our final boss is depending on how well you've done. Normally, it's Rugal in this seat. But if you do well enough, you will either fight Orochi from KOF 97 or this man.
Round 1.
Party like it's 1996. So whatever flaws this man had have been remedied, for the most part. You already know how dangerous he was in 96. You're being a lot more reserved than I thought you'd be. There you go! I was worried for a second that this would be a free ride. Oh yes, you weren't seeing things that did hit off the ground.
KO! Winner! Round 2. Lady, go!
Alright, gotta watch that. Oh god, buttons. We've been pressing them all day. Probably best I don't use the follow-up.
KO! Winner! Round 3.
Let's burn it up.
Lady, go!
Switch ball.
Oh, I've definitely done this before. Not as Krauser. Ow! I can fight you from range too, pal. We can talk about that. Have you not been paying attention these past 26 episodes? We do that. Alright. He can fight me. He can fight me at the range he chooses. It's just wild! You buffed one of the most dangerous bosses in KOF history, you insipid monsters! You cats! I like it, but I hate it at the same time. Alright. This is gonna be the order we're going with. Leona first, then Heidern, and then Krauser last. I think that's the key to victory. Now let's see if it works on the Lock of Triumph.
Lady, go!
Alright. Initially, one of the tricks to getting around him was Leona's dash forward slash, because it got around Tornado. Nowadays, it's not the best of strategies. Ah. That's still good damage. Nothing to be ashamed of. Oh, that was wide open. I'll take that. Alright. Gotcha. Good damage. Ah, I gambled. Why did I gamble? I gambled everything on the fact that that move had tracking when it doesn't. It barely has any tracking. Where do you think you're going? Yeah, look at how much he can do with just one combo. Now you know why I'm not fucking with this. What? Shit. Very close, though. Very close. Just gotta make some halftime adjustments. Just gotta make some quick adjustments on our order. Probably not.
Lady, go!
Alright. Oh, it's a matter of time before that fell apart. Default, the best kind of victory!
Winner!
The two sweetest words in the English language. Alright, that is King of Fighters 98 Ultimate Match. I'm speechless at this game. It's just 98, but more. Not that it deletes the original 98. Lord knows both versions still get played to this day, but man, this is definitely an essential version of the game. It is definitely the dream match squared. Just dropping in a few things that they left off of 98's original floor. And all the original 98 ending art up there. It's a super cool version of the game. Definitely a big recommend. Not necessarily the online experience for Steam, because delay-based, etc. But as far as, like, top-of-the-line KOF games go, this one usually gets ignored in favor of the original, probably because not as many people played Ultimate Match as they did the original, but it's absolutely worth a look. And in the words of Wolfgang Krauser, thanks for a good time.